To move data from an email to a spreadsheet and into a customer database, a human hand must drag the mouse and click. We spend our days managing a chaotic web of dashboards, tabs, and applications. When large language models arrived, we built chat windows, typed in our questions, and waited for these digital oracles to print out an answer. This became the popular definition of the AI revolution. A chatbot receives a prompt, generates text, and stops. An AI agent pursues a goal. It initiates its own actions across multiple systems and does not wait for a human to tell it what to do next. Currently, humans serve as the manual connective tissue of the internet. We read the chatbot's output, open the required applications, and physically execute the necessary steps to finish a task. A true agent bypasses that human bottleneck. It utilizes long-term memory to maintain context, connects to external tools through APIs, and employs a reasoning engine to adjust its own plan when it hits a dead end. The era of designing software primarily for human eyes and manual operation is reaching its limit. Traditional computing relies on deterministic, hard-coded rules. The machine requires exact commands to function. Agentic software operates on probability and intent. A user provides a single, high-level instruction, like book my flights and block out my calendar. The agent receives that intent and enters a dynamic planning loop, reaching across external APIs to find the best path forward. Without any further prompting, the system breaks that goal into a sequence of smaller subtasks. It searches airline schedules, compares pricing, and checks your availability, managing the entire workflow on its own. If a payment gateway times out, the agent does not freeze. It recognizes the failure, recalibrates, and reroutes through an alternate tool pathway to complete the transaction. The cognitive burden of navigating the web is shifting. Humans are moving toward a model of strategic collaboration with autonomous digital actors. For 30 years, the graphical user interface was a necessity. Our brains required visual menus, buttons, and forms to interact with digital databases. But visual interfaces are highly inefficient for machines. Forcing an AI to ingest screenshots, guess button coordinates, and wait for pages to render is slow and expensive. This friction is driving a shift toward headless software. Digital execution is being decoupled from visual presentation. Instead of clicking a screen, agents work directly inside command line interfaces and APIs. They operate entirely in text, executing these commands at incredible machine velocity without ever needing a physical display. When digital execution happens in the background, a software company's primary moat, human muscle memory, begins to evaporate. Without buttons and dashboards to master, users can migrate between systems with far less friction. This structural shift threatens the business model of the modern software industry. Many of these companies rely on per-seat licensing, charging fees for every human worker who logs into the system. This document identifies a dual threat to that model. Agentic AI bypasses those visual interfaces, while generative tools allow users to build the specific, custom software they need without subscribing to a permanent platform. A central manager AI receives the objective and delegates work to specialized subordinate agents, one for coding, research, and deployment. These nodes communicate in the background, handing off data, checking each other's work, and correcting errors before synchronizing the final result back to the manager node. This fluid adaptability contrasts with legacy enterprise software, which requires rigid, manual integrations to get two separate programs to share information. Enterprise software is migrating away from visual applications and into an invisible, orchestrating logic layer. By integrating directly with digital payment protocols and decentralized ledgers, AI agents are entering what researchers call the machine economy. They can now negotiate prices and settle transactions at machine velocity without a human ever clicking a button. This shift impacts the white-collar workforce directly. Entry-level apprenticeship roles, jobs that once focused on repetitive data processing and report generation, are disappearing as autonomous swarms finish those tasks in seconds. In their place, we are seeing the rise of hyper-individual capitalism. A single founder can now command an invisible army of AI agents to execute complex logistics, outmaneuvering legacy corporations that employ thousands. Humanity is entering a new role. Humans are becoming the conductors of intent, while the AI functions as the execution layer. Human economic value is detaching from task execution. It now centers on strategic orchestration. Silicon Valley has moved past the competition to build a better app. The current race is a geopolitical battle to own the foundational operating system of human civilization. The corporations building this intelligence layer possess immense physical and financial scale. They are positioning AI as a fundamental global utility, much like the power grid or the internet itself. Rapid alliances are forming as companies race to establish universal standards and protocols that will govern how autonomous agents take action in the real world. Legacy computing was designed to process and store information. Modern agents are being built to act on it, triggering real-world events that range from supply chain adjustments to complex financial settlements. As the internet sheds its visual interfaces, a vast, autonomous architecture operates silently in the dark. Humanity is being pushed toward the periphery of its own digital ecosystem. Intelligence has moved beyond the screens we consult. It has become the invisible infrastructure running civilization.